What's going on, guys? Mecha Ish here from the Marvel Legends X-Men wave. I got Wolverine. Let's do it.
138 in progress. Prepare for launch in 3, 2.
Step out of your world and step into mine.
Welcome back, guys, to another Marvel Legends action figure review, and I have from the X-Men Legends series, Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Waves, Wolverine. Now, this is Wolverine in his brown costume, which I absolutely love. And the last time we got a Marvel Legends version of this costume was, again, back in the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 6. The same Series 6 that came with the Deadpool and the Juggernaut. And again, in this X-Men wave, we are getting a Juggernaut, a Deadpool, and a brown suit Wolverine. So let's see if I like this Wolverine figure as much as I love the other Series 6 Toy Biz Wolverine. So you have your standard window box packaging that is used for all of the Marvel Legends series figures. You got the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut logo up there. Of course, you have the X-Men logo, Legends series, a great window view of Wolverine, and he has interchangeable fisted hands with the claws put away, which is very cool. And you have the Build-A-Figure piece of Juggernaut's big head, X-Men, Wolverine at the bottom, and you have both sides of the box have the same artwork of Wolverine going crazy bananas. You got the Marvel Legends series logo on the top left and a little bit of a bio on the right. Virtually indestructible and always ready for a fight, Wolverine's specialty is sending bad guys running. He is the best there is at what he does, bub. And towards the bottom of the box, you have the entire lineup of this awesome wave. I have reviewed almost all of them, so stay tuned and subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest. Alright, let's take this Wolverine outside of this box. And let's see what he's all about. Alright, I got Wolverine outside of his packaging. I do have some issues with this figure. I do love that it's the shorter, stocky build here for Wolverine, and he stands at 5.5 inches in height, which is very true to the Earth 616 Wolverine. And you see he comes with the big head of Juggernaut and those two alternate hands with the retracted claws. Alright, let's take a closer look at Wolverine. Now, I have some major issues with the paint applications of this Wolverine figure, but I am a big fan of the shorter, stockier build and all of the great sculpted detail from head to toe. I mean, this Wolverine is a fantastically sculpted figure, but let's talk about that head sculpt. You can see all the nice detail around his eyebrows. You got some wrinkles there on the side of his eyes, and I love the way they did his mouth, his chin. Look at his chin, how it's just jutting out. His nose is downward. Just your signature look for Wolverine with that nice sneer. I almost expect him to have a cigar hanging off his lip. And just the way they sculpted the flared out eye portion of his mask is so reminiscent of the way Jim Lee would draw Wolverine that I'm loving it. Now, again, the paint applications is not clean at all. You can see the orange here, and it does not blend in very well with the black, and a big black spot right on the side of his head. Now, this isn't a battle damage Wolverine. There's no hair sculpted out. This is just the way the orange paint just totally chipped off, and you can see that black underneath. Now, what I do love about the paint applications of this head sculpt is how well done the flesh tone paint is of his skin, and how it's so well separated from the bottom portion of his mask. And I don't want to forget these nice silver colored eyes, which could have been done a little bit fuller on the right side. And then we get to his body mold, which I am absolutely loving. It's so well proportioned for the character. This is just such a great representation of how Wolverine appears in the comic books in the Earth 616 universe. He is shorter, he is stockier, and he is just jacked, right? You can see his torso is a little bit wider, his waist is a little bit wider, like say when compared to the Bucky Cat mold, which is more streamlined. And then you even have these shorter, stockier arms that are just so buff. You got his big biceps here, nicely sculpted. You even have a little bit of vein work there, right? And then check out these triceps. Man, the back of his arms are just bulging out. Just great sculpted detail with the musculature. You can see right here on the sides, his abs, the big arms of him. You got those big forearms, and then you have the big fist. Now, we've seen these claws before with other Wolverine figures. It's a sturdier plastic than what they used to use, and you can see mine is a little bit warped in the middle there. Then you can see the metal pieces on the top of his fists are pretty clean. You know, they could have done a better job there, but I do love how clean the brown glove is painted on his forearm and even by his shoulder, so great job there. Now, looking at his back, now I'm a little bummed out about this. You can see the brown and the orange kind of look green there, so that's a little issue I have with the paint. And then we have this big chippage right there on the brown paint where his flesh tone is coming through. But take a look at the sculpt of this Wolverine. They did such a fantastic job with the thickness of this character, not just towards the front, but look how thick they did the traps and even the back. That is fantastic. Great look for Wolverine. Again, this is my favorite look for the character. If I had to change one thing, I would have made his traps a little bit fuller up top. Only because his neck looks a little too narrow and it makes his head look a little too big. And then we have this separate belt piece. See little textured details there to give it a leathery look to it. But you got the red belt and you got this bronze paint application on the buckle. It could have been a little cleaner, but it is not too bad at all. Now going down his legs, you can see all the great sculpted detail. And then you go to these sick boots boots, guys. Take a look at the way they sculpted these boots in. So iconic of Wolverine to have these boots that flare out towards the top. And you can see the black and the brown are separated so well. And this black piece is sculpted in. So I love, this is a brand new sculpted piece for Wolverine. They even added some wrinkled sculpted detail there for good measure. This is just awesome. Now, the major flaw with this character is the paint applications of the orange. I mean, take a look at this. His upper torso has a dark orange color to it, which is the way it should be. And then you go down the legs and you have that brighter yellowish orange. I mean, how could just Hasbro miss that before shipping it out? You can see it a little bit better towards the back. You got that dark orange and then you have the more yellow legs. So I am so bummed out about that because seriously, guys, this could have been one of the best Wolverine figures in your Marvel Legends collection. And they just missed the mark because they didn't pay attention to the paint detailing as they did the sculpt. Now, for articulation, the head is on a ball hinge joint so you can get the full rotation all the way around and great range of motion looking up to the moon and all the way down like that. So that's very cool. Now, we do have this nice butterfly joint so you can really expand his chest and get him in some dynamic clawing poses like that. That's going to be sick. And then you can also go all the way around. So great range of motion going back and forward with the arm. Then we have rotation at the shoulder and a hinge so we can get some good extension there. We have a bicep swivel so you can rotate the full 360, and we cannot extend his arm all the way. Remember, he has this shorter upper arm, but there is a double hinge joint there, so we can bend it about that far. You can see the hinge on the top and the bottom, but when extending it, you're gonna have a little bit of a bend only because of the way his upper arm is sculpted. And then you have a rotation at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. Now, looking at his abs, we have a nice arch of his back and a sweet ab crunch. Now, we do have a 360-degree waist swivel there, but as you can see, the belt being a separate piece, you might have to raise it up a little so it can clear the way for that range of motion. Now, he can kick up his leg that high. He can go to the back just a little bit, and to the side he can kick only a little, but he does have a thigh cut rotation. We do have double jointed knees. Take a look at that. And at these sweet boots, we have boot cut articulation. We have a nice hinge at the ankle, and then we have a nice ankle rocker that can go all the way around. Nice stiff joint there. So we should be able to get Wolverine in a wide array of poses. Now, one of the cool things about this Wolverine figure is that it comes packed in with interchangeable hands. So as you can see, he has his clawed hands out. They're ready to slice and dice, but the hands can be easily removed, and then you can plug in the other hand, which is ready in a fist. And then he has these nice silver paint applications for the adamantium sheaths and a nice sculpted fist as well. Now, another thing I wanted to point out, because this might have been easily missed, is that each one of his claws on both hands is easily removable, so it really adds to the display options. Sometimes you have Wolverine with only 2 claws up, sometimes you have him with only 1 claw up, and as you can see, you got the peg and you got the hole at the knuckles there that plug right back in. I wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse at one of my favorite Marvel Legends of all time, my favorite Wolverine, absolutely, in terms of the Marvel Legends Toy Biz Series 6 that you see before you on the right. And I wanted to put him side by side with the Hasbro one, and I want you guys to tell me who you think is better. You know how I feel. How do you guys feel about it? So there you have it, guys, my video review of the X-Men Legends Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Waves Wolverine. Now, I think this is a very good action figure in terms of the awesome sculpt and the articulation, but Hasbro unfortunately dropped the ball when it came to the paint applications, because this Wolverine could have been one of the greats. So hopefully down the line, because we all know we're going to get some more Wolverine action figures, they really do a better job in the paint department. And I also hope down the line that they add in an alternate head with more of a growl and similar in head sculpt to the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 6, because as you can see, you can get this Wolverine in a ton of awesome dynamic poses, but the head sculpt they provided us is not really matching up with that excitement. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a thumbs up and check out my channel for other reviews I've done. And I have so many cool things coming your way, so make sure you all like, subscribe, comment, and share. You know what to do. Peace.